Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Gemini for March 2021. The elements for the next 4 weeks, it's now the 22nd of February, is water. So water can either be rushing and gushing or stagnant, but water and emotions are the two key meanings of this time. So let's do a quick shuffle. Eight, 9 and 10. The energy around your reading for this next 4 weeks is personal power. Don't give it away, Gemini. Do not say yes when you mean no, in short. Don't build yourself a prison and then find yourself feeling like you're locked into something that you don't need to be. You can open the door and leave at any time, in other words. So this is the element of air too, so you are air people, that's your element, Gemini. So it's about, just be careful, you know, because you're very much communicators. You're at the top of your field in terms of innovating, communicating, running the show, being really charismatic type of people. But don't make the mistake of saying yes when you mean no, because otherwise you'll find yourself in a bit of a spot where you've given your power away, and then you'll feel like, oh God, what am I meant to do with this? So let's have a look what the energy of where you are right now is. Ten of Cups, so it's family. I always call this the family card. And family, it means so many things. You know, a lot of people go on about their families and how wonderful they are, but you know, like everything, that's just one sort of version of it. But behind the scenes also with families, there can be lots of business going on, if you know what I mean. It's not just all a nice snapshot on the picture on the mantelpiece, is it, or on the wall. It's not all about that happy family. There's stuff. So 10 of Cups for you means it's sort of being quite realistic about family members and how things are, and you know, not doing too much for them. Perhaps here with the 8 of Swords, just keeping everything, you know, in perspective in terms of still having your life, but just sort of being aware that we're all just, related or not, we've all just got our own path to tread. So make sure yours this month is more about you than giving away everything to all the other people. So interesting. Let's see what's influenced that to come, and indeed will influence the whole reading. And we have Strength. So it's about self-awareness. It's about being aware of yourself, being aware of your position in that family. Are you the daughter or son that does everything for everybody else and makes everything nice, and you're the life of the party whenever you come in, and they're always expecting you to be the, you know, the jolly one? So the 8 of Strength, I often call the Father card too. So it's your dad, whether he's here on earth with us or he's in the spirit world. Still has a lot of energy about Father coming through and saying, well, just, you know, control yourself, accept the challenge, move on, but be very much aware of triggers, especially within the family, people that just push your buttons, and therefore then you give your power away because you're like, oh, I better do that because they made me feel guilty, all that. So it's all about the influences for this reading is all about sort of really, you know, understanding what triggers you, especially with family. Okay, let's have a look at January, February. So the background here that still plays a part in your reading. good news is on the way. So if you're waiting for some kind of good news, very in its young stages, because it's a page, but it's sort of more or less saying that good news is on the way. So forward moving energies, wands, everything going well, progressing. So good news is definitely on the way for you. So there's good things to come out of this self-awareness, or just sort of, and it could be, if it's not family, it could just be people around you, work people as well, where you, these days we call everyone family, but they too can trigger us, and they can sort of, you know, anger comes from nowhere with some people, and you think, oh my God, you know, why did I just erupt? It's about keeping that sort of balanced as well. Overall, recent influences, we have the Two of Cups. So the soulmate sort of scenario here. That person that gets you, that, you know, and this has just come in recently. So this may be somebody you've met, or somebody that's come back in that you haven't seen for a long time, but you have this real soulmate kind of energy with. And it can be your soulmate, in fact, too, that does trigger you at times, and that sort of indicates a soulmate, because they're not always there for everything to be sweetness and life and romantic and light and all of that. They do sort of really push you to your limits sometimes as well. So it's about sort of balancing that and looking inward and saying, well, why do I react like that to that person? Why do they annoy me? Interesting. Let's see what lesson you'd be learning. Oh, the Ace of Cups. So there's definitely some real sort of emotional connection coming here through here, Gemini. Very strong. So you've got these two real soulmate cards, and this is the one where you just have this amazing connection with somebody. Now, you can be in any kind of arrangement or relationship, but this still can happen. So it's either a thing that you really want to do, or you've found is really like your sort of thing, it strikes a chord, or it can be, often it is a person that comes in and you just sort of click. But we'll see. Near future, yeah, just be careful with this Seven of Cups. It's like an illusion card, so it's like, if it sounds too good to be true, Gemini, it probably is. So just be aware. And you've got a few cups, so it's all about emotions this next 4 weeks. So just keep a lid on things. Don't let things sort of get too far out of control, where you go, oh, this person's amazing, they're everything, I can't believe it. Well, you know, as we all know, that's sometimes a bit like, yeah, it's a bit of a Hollywood story, it's a bit of a Disneyland, you know. Nothing is that great, but it can seem like that. I'm just saying. Let's see what's happening that you're not realizing, Gemini. And we have the karmic debt card. So whatever this is, it's a really important time to clear this karmic debt. So if you are having aggravation with people here, people that press your buttons, it's about trying to control it. And with that, the debt is paid off. So, but you've got to learn to do this before you get the debt paid. So it's definitely something to do with karmic connections you have with others, whether it be your family or somebody that's come in that's just really struck you over, and you've gone, oh my God, you know, who is this person? It's almost too good to be true. But it's about you sort of really taking the challenge, but then being very sort of measured about how you manage it. And then it's karmic debt. So if you manage it well, you pay the debt off and you won't ever have to face that again. But if you don't, if you fall for it sounds too good to be true, that karmic debt will be there to be paid a bit more. There'll be a bit more to pay off again, if you get my drift. Okay, let's see how others see you, Gemini. 8 of Cups. So yeah, a relationship emotionally that you've got to just step away from for a little bit. Because it's become a bit toxic, really, and it's become a bit, you know, round and round the mulberry bush sort of scenario where you don't seem to be getting anywhere with it. So this card just advises, just step out for a bit. Don't, you know, get yourself into that cycle of, you know, just on and on it goes, pressing of the buttons, the whole sort of scenario. So step out a bit, and this is what I feel like, this is what your spirit messengers are telling you. Just be careful. It could be your mum or your dad who's passed on, anybody, you know, that you consider to be your sort of guide or whatever that means to you, looking at you saying, yeah, well, just step away for a bit, give it a bit of breathing space and revisit it again in March, April, so to speak. Positive feelings, you have the Ace of Wands. So things moving really well for you in other spheres of your life. You're moving forward, you're doing well, you've got loads of energy as usual. So just take care of that, and don't let this emotional or this awareness, sort of this pressing buttons sort of card overshadow all the other great things in your life. You need to just step out for a bit and be sort of manage this emotional time a bit better than just feeling trapped. The outcome and the Empress. So the Mother comes up in the end. So this is the Mother card. So it can be talking about your mother. It can be talking about you as a mother, and it's abundance, but it's very heavily featured, the Mother. So whenever she comes up, I always emphasize that it's your mother, whether she's here or whether she's in the spirit world. We need to sort of remember that, but just be aware that she is coming up at the end of the reading. I'm just going to put a extra card on this Eight of Cups and this Seven of Cups, because they can be a bit, and I don't like people to go away thinking, oh, that's horrible, that reading that woman did. I didn't like that. It didn't sound very good. So we'll see what's driving this one first. Underneath, what will pop up, and underneath. So underneath what seems too good to be true card, we have the Happy Home card. So just you're doing really well, so just keep that doing really well going. Don't be falling for offers or people, you know, promising this, promising that. Just keep grounded, and the Four of Wands means you're in a really good spot. But then once in a while these sort of connections come in and just kind of distract us from what we were doing before they came along, and then we just throw everything into it and become over obsessed with it. So just remember that, and just trust your instincts. What's underneath the Eight of Cups? So the card, you know, just stepping away from that sort of toxic kind of thing at the moment. And I don't mean toxic in a mean way. It's just like sometimes it just goes on and you can't find a way out of the circle. It's a maddening thing. But sometimes you just step off that merry-go-round and go and do something else. So underneath that we have the Moon. So yeah, there are things going on that you're not realising. It's a bit sort of cloudy at the moment. You're not seeing everything for what it is. Trust your dreams at this time, things like that. You mightn't be sleeping well. It might be kind of all these kind of heavy emotional card the Moon is, and it's very much a water sign as well. So you're not seeing the full picture yet. So just be really, really careful to listen to your intuition this next 4 weeks, Gemini. Let's see your advice. Courage. It is not the strength of the body that counts, but the strength of the spirit. Courage is a spiritual strength taking you beyond all fear and resistance to remove internal and external blockages on the path. Strength. Oh, there you go. So a beautiful way, just get with it. Things going well. Don't be too, you know, just be careful. Don't let people press your buttons. Don't be sort of blinded or blindsided by some sort of fabulous new attraction or connection, just keep on doing what you're doing. Thanks so much for listening, Gemini. Have a great 4 weeks.